Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name's Neil Pickup for Professional Arm Wrestling League, and we are in Yalta, on the Crimean Peninsula. Look at the beautiful sights of this area. And our athletes in the cable car, just getting a little bit of rest and relaxation, a little bit of time to do some sightseeing of this lovely part of the world before we get stuck in to the physicals. We are here in Yalta for the Professional Arm Wrestling League Vendetta bout between two of the greatest light heavyweights in the history of professional arm wrestling, who will be competing for the title of World Champion of the Professional Arm Wrestling League. John Brzenk and Ivakin are our athletes, and here we are in the arena. John Brzenk from Salt Lake City, Utah, USA, 41 years of age. John Brzenk is the legend of professional arm wrestling. We've seen him before here on Professional League, and in this vendetta bout, John Brzenk faces another very tough test from Eastern Europe. John Brzenk never shy to take on the best arm wrestlers in the world, and often dominate the best arm wrestlers in the world. Can he dominate this man? Taras Ivakin. You saw his face there, hidden behind that flag, but it's written all over the back of the shirt. Taras Ivakin of Ukraine. This is an arm wrestling legend in the making. This fella has world titles and European titles very firmly under his belt. He's a very tall man, a top roll specialist. This one, an exciting prospect, Taras Ivakin. Let's have a look at the man from Ukraine. 28 years of age, 95 kilograms. You can see a tall man at 186 centimeters with huge arm measurements. 49 centimeters are the biceps of Taras Ivakin. Number three in the PAL professional rankings, and you can see a win and a loss in his outings in PAL. What about this individual, needing no introduction anywhere in the world? 41 years old, 95 kilos, 20 years of dominance in arm wrestling, and he is ranked number 1. This is his first outing in this type of format for Professional League Vendetta. Looking at the overall rankings in the 95 kilo section, Johnny B, John Brzenk of the USA up at the top. Ron Bath right behind him, also USA. But that man, Taras Ivakin, is ranked at number 3, and he is the man making the bid at the title. This one should be a phenomenal matchup. Clash of styles. Taras is a top roll monster. This guy is made to top roll. John Brzenk is made to arm wrestle. End of. This guy will top roll. He will hook. He will go anywhere you want. We get into a top roll straight away, and John Brzenk coming back up there and putting some attitude straight into the match, trying to stamp his authority early, and he broke open the hand of Taras in a top roll, and that's where Taras wants to be. So John taking the opportunity. You'll see now he pops up off the table, and a little bit of a stare down to Taras, as if to say, oh yeah, you want a top roll? Then let's top roll. And I'll match you there too. Taras Ivakin, the yellow shirt, colours of his nation, Ukraine, and the red shirt is John Brzenk Jr. of Salt Lake City, USA. This is the legend. Unicorns and myths. John Brzenk is real. Look at the power of John Brzenk. He was top rolled, he lost hand and wrist control, and he just drove straight through him. It's a winner to John Brzenk, and we hopefully will get another look at that on the replay. Look at this now. He actually loses hand and wrist control there, underneath, and look at the back pressure. Watch this with the side. He starts to sweep back, the elbow slides to the back, and he just drives him straight off the pad. A combination of lat drag and that awesome side pressure. John Brzenk applying the pressure through the hand, the lower hand and wrist, locking up, and a decisive win. Brzenk is out of the blocks with a lead of 1-0. Taras Ivakin has it all to do now, and John Brzenk just relaxing, trying to keep focus. Taras looked confident. He looks still like he's very much aware of what's coming, and Taras as a guy with good endurance, so I'm sure that he's thinking that as this match draws on, if John is to tire and his hand and wrist tire, then Taras's chances increase. But That's really indicative that if anybody goes up top with Taras Ivakin, you're in for a match. John Brzenk there going top, and his hand is folding equally. Look at that. The guy's inverting. Neither man can keep in the match. Inverting and the loss of grip. We open now, and we go into the strap. Remember, when the straps are applied, it goes around the wrists and hands of the arm wrestler. And this is a very different match now. The strap allows you to apply pressure from different areas of the match and favours the man with more power. That's got to be John Brzenk in this scenario. John Brzenk can match the top roll. Look at the speed of Taras. Taras off like a bullet that time, and John is now in a very difficult situation. He's underneath the man from Ukraine, and only John Brzenk can do what you're seeing now. John Brzenk there rolled open. The match is stopped for an elbow infringement. I think it's on Taras, and he's asking that question. John Brzenk with the elbow foul. Inexplicably, let's have a look at that on the replay. I'm sure we'll see this. Our judges watching from the side of the table on monitors. Let's have a look at this now. Yes, there it is. You can see, huge hit from Taras. And as the pressure went down, the defiant shout of no from John Brzenk, because he wasn't pinned. But what he did do was pop the elbow in the air. And John Brzenk there receives a foul. How will that affect his confidence going into this second start? We remain in straps. Taras Ivakin in the yellow shirt there was out of the blocks like a bullet. Maybe that's a good thing for John. Can he apply more pressure from the start? Yes, he can. And the side pressure goes straight in there. It's often been said about John Brzenk that if you manage to get a result... Oh, it's a second elbow foul. And John Brzenk has lost the match on fouls. Let's have another look at that on the replay, because I missed it from here. Oh, yeah. Clearly an elbow foul. He applied the side pressure, but it's just the effort of trying to stop that massive top roll attack of that man, 28-year-old Taras Ivakin. And he is made for the top roll, isn't he? The leverage there. Oh, hello. We love this. It's all about the ladies and smoke. When you have smoke and a woman in a headdress with very little clothes, life's good. John Brzenk there at the side of the table, just making a few comments to Sevan Matassian and Bessie Moritz, who've travelled over to Ukraine with him. Filming for Pulling John the Movie, which is a feature-length film about the life and the trials of John Brzenk, facing people like this young man, 28-year-old Taras Ivakin. 1-1 is the score, and the ladies are dancing. It's all good in Yalta. God bless them. The Nitro Bowl, Alexis Semerenko. Giving the smelling salts there to Taras Ivakin, just to give him that little bit of perk and pick him up for this match. It's 1-1 at the moment. We saw the crushing win by Brzenk in round 1. Utilising the side pressure, then he double fouls out in the second round. Partisan crowd here in Ukraine cheering on their athlete, Taras Ivakin. We slip, and the straps will be applied. Looking at that on the replay, look at the top roll attack, as you would expect from Taras. John Brzenk matching him there, and the hand is opening. John there, the wrist inverting slightly, but he's not interested in that. All he's bothered about is keeping the momentum of the match and getting into a strap. If the strap goes on, John has more opportunity to post from his elbow and use his back. Most of John's power generated from the hand and wrist control and that massive turtle shell-like back that he has. He can really apply the pressure through the strap now, get the lower hand into motion, and side pressure is going to be a key to this match for John. And you can see it there, evident in this match. He takes Taras off the bone line. Now John is cruising. He's looking at Taras, and he is in total control, playing there and letting the powerful Ukraine burn. Look at this. John struggling. Pop the hand control, and there it is. Once that happens, you can see John now relaxes. He sits up into the match, and look at the face of the man from USA. Taras is in a world that belongs to John Brzenk now. And he pushes off the back of the pad. The elbow pulled off, and there it is. That is some elbow, isn't it, as well? The massive forearm development on Taras Ivakin. What a huge forearm this young man from Ukraine has. Really is ridiculous. Surely the best looking arms in the sport of arm wrestling. Aesthetically, this guy's arms look fantastic. He really has guns on him, there is no doubt about it. And he's built for the top roll, but he's not built for where he is now. And that's the hook, and it's John Brzenk's world. And John Brzenk controls that one. A little nod of the head, as if to say, yes, you're right, I do own you. And he takes that one. John Brzenk, no problem. It's easy, isn't it? Going through Taras Ivakin with the hook. Look at the power there. Once that wrist is in that position, John actually applying the back pressure and sort of pulling into the hand of Taras with a halfway between a top roll and a hook. He's not fully inside there. He's just using the top roll pressure and the drag hook technique. And Taras has nowhere to go there. It's all about John Brzenk. John Brzenk with the win. And he eases into the lead now. 41 centimetre forearms on John Brzenk, generating the phenomenal horsepower that you see in evidence at the table. And that really is the legend himself, John Brzenk at his very best. We've seen some impressive, talking of impressive, there you go. Ladies are still going on stage, always good. But John Brzenk is impressive in Yalta, isn't he? Just this guy is looking on fire. John in the red shirt, USA's finest and the world's finest. Time for a smile in between matches. Taras Ivakin in the yellow shirt, top roll specialist. The same suit warmed over. John saying I can't hang on to him there. But he's not bothered about the straps. Notice John there, the wrist inverting, there it goes now, slip, we go into the straps. Taras, the leverage advantage there, the longer forearm of the Ukraine, making the advantage his before the strap is applied. The strap restricts that movement and allows John to put the side pressure into this match, which is so very important. Taras, very much about the rolling, using the height and leverage from that massive outer forearm. But watch John now. He'll try to apply the side pressure. He must be careful because if he applies it in... Oh, phenomenal. And Taras there just pulled straight off the pad. John saying, what happened there? And is that a foul? They've given it... It is an elbow foul, John Brzenk. You can't believe it. Taras hit there, was stopped. He ran into a stone wall and dropped off the front of the pad. And John Brzenk, in my opinion, quite rightly, is questioning that because I've really got to see that on the replay. Let's have a look at it. We'll get a decision. But yeah, it's right. You can see there that John Brzenk was popped off the pad straight away. But he holds that. And it's such a small fraction of a second that he lifts up. Just pops up in the air. No advantage really gained from that at all. He's just popping up in the air, but the rules are the rules. It's professional league. This is done clinically. We don't play at the PAL. This is where John wants the match. In that strap. Look at the pressure now. Look at the dominance. Oh, that's easy. John Brzenk. He looks across at the camera, and it is a win for John Brzenk. He's saying, are you going to give me that one or not, John? As his back up a little bit, he's saying, come on, what do I have to do? You need it cleaner than that? Watch this now. John Brzenk. Oh, that is exceptional. Taras pulling back as hard as he can, and he has no change from the man from USA. Every time I watch John Brzenk arm wrestle, I'm more impressed than the last. Look at that. Who can dominate Taras like that? Who can do it? John Brzenk can. There it is. Look at the side pressure. That is a display of just pure, raw, top end and arm wrestling ability. Hello, lady. Round number 5. And John Brzenk there. 43 centimetre biceps. He can use those to good effect up there, can't he, John Brzenk? The blue-eyed boy, the golden boy, USA. 20 years of dominance in a sport which most people would struggle to even wrestle for that long because of the injuries that can be inflicted from wrestling in so many positions. But John has grown up in arm wrestling and his arm has grown with him. He started arm wrestling as a very, very young man and was immediately a natural force in the sport. Gifted genetically for arm wrestling, super powerful hands, super powerful wrists, tremendous development of the back, the forearm, and so much natural fluidity in his technique. Oh, he's been top rolled this time. He's in a real world of trouble now. Taras Ivakin diving down to the pad, and surely that's a win for Taras. I would call that for Taras because he was in a losing position, John, when that bailed, and yes, it is. Taras, rightly so. Taras just got away early. Broke open the hand of John Brzenk, and John, not having the strap applied, couldn't apply it through the arm, and it was all working on the fingertips. Tremendous power to hold Taras there, but Taras dived on top of him, and the pressure If anything, John may have fouled off the back of the pad also, but you can see Taras there crushes down to the pad, and it's rightly a win for the Ukraine. He deserved that one. Great use of the speed, and I'm sure that hurt the elbow of John. You can see John rubbing the elbow. Going into round 6, and an opportunity has opened now for Taras, because at 3-2, as Our Lady signals that this is going to be the last match, round number 6, if Taras Ivakin can apply the pressure into John Brzenk with equal speed that we've just seen there, and John has damaged his elbow because he was certainly rubbing it after that match, maybe something's popped in that elbow from the exertion of holding Taras, then Taras can level the score and shock the world by levelling out on John Brzenk at 95 kilos. 3-3 would be a great result for Taras in my book, because I had John Brzenk pegged for the win here, and I'm sure most people felt the same. John Brzenk, the man in the red, you probably know which one it is from the giant J. Brzenk written on his back, which always gives it away. John Brzenk, a legend in arm wrestling. And John is really like a chameleon at the table. He will change to suit his surroundings. We see him today against the top roll specialist that is Taras Ivakin of Ukraine. And Ivakin, oh, he's a massive top roll from Taras there. I was wondering what was going on the setup, because neither man looked really comfortable in there, but I think both men are happy to go into the strap. You can see Taras there, a huge hit, and John, again, the hand inverting, the wrist dropping, and not really making a lot of effort to grip there. Just lets it go, fall into the strap, which is where his advantage is going to be. And Taras has the opportunity to make it 3-3, but look how relaxed John Brzenk is. The strap goes on. Taras there, looking to get as much dominance and height in the hand. The length of arm on the man from Ukraine in the yellow. Very, very long levers. Designed for top rolling. He can apply the power so effectively, as you've just seen in that last match, when he managed to open John, using it with the speed. And again he gets over the top of John, but the side pressure is evident now, and John moves into control. John now is in cruise control at the table. Taras is in a world of pain. And that one onto the pad. It's Taras with an elbow foul, but I can tell you, John Brzenk was in control. Look at this now. Working, side pressure, and the bone line. Look at the face change on John Brzenk now. And he moves into cruise control, and Taras has nowhere to run there. And he pops off the back of the pad as he tries to drag further back. But John is holding at this point in time, and he's not working. He's just asserting his authority on the match. Big elbow foul from the Ukrainian. And we'll restart that in the strap. And it's really just a stay of execution for Taras when he's in that kind of position. It gives him a lifeline. Can he get away quick this time? He made a mistake there in letting John stop that match. I must admit, when the straps are on, I don't really fancy Taras's chances. He's got to be away so quick, because unless he can flash this man from the USA, unless he can put him on the pad straight away, I just can't see a way through Brzenk, because Brzenk seems to have enough power to actually pull Taras back with his wrist broken back. His use of side pressure, his use of hand and wrist dominance is so evident in this match. John Brzenk, there he is, USA, red shirt. Watch for Taras now with the speed. And has John got anything up his sleeve? I think he was playing in that last match. Maybe he's going to just stamp his authority on this. Look at the side pressure. John, there it is. He's got it. That's it. Over. Game over. Good night, Ivakin Taras. Taras there. Did he elbow foul again? John looking over. I'm sure it may have been an elbow foul for... It's an elbow foul for John Brzenk. Haha. Let's have a look. I'm sure it's correct, because every time... Watch, it'll be on the hit. Watch the hit. Bump, there it is. Yeah. As soon as the hit comes in from Taras Ivakin, John is trying to he's actually trying to keep the pressure on the elbow. But the force from Taras is so extreme that it's just not possible to do so. This young man from Ukraine really is a top rolling machine, and his leverage is so designed for the sport. John trying to apply that little bit of side pressure there, and it's working against him as he puts the force down through the elbow, through the back. The influx of pressure from Taras just pops his elbow up in the air, and John really needs to be careful now, because Taras is obviously going for the speed. He's not trying to pull John off the pad, he's just trying to finish the match early. And this, a reminder there, is for the World Championship title of the Professional Arm Wrestling League. And at the moment the score 3-2 to John Brzenk. Surely this isn't going to finish in a draw. What a result for Taras if he can do that. If Taras Ivakin can do it, he's the international champion of the Professional Arm Wrestling League from all 4, stepping up a gear now as he faces John Brzenk. John will have had so much weight on that elbow. There we go, it's all over. John Brzenk is now easy squeezy. He's pulling down to the pad, but Taras has got a foul. Is that going to be losing? Yes, it's given in a losing position, and rightly so. And it's John Brzenk with the win. The man from USA is the world champion of the Professional Arm Wrestling League, and it's clear to see the elbow there is off the pad. But if you look at John Brzenk's face, it's easy when he gets the hand control. Nicely squeezing down. Just squeezing the pressure through the hand, and there you go. John Brzenk saying, I am the champ, new world champion of Professional League. And let's have a look at some of our match statistics. Slips, just a few. In all but the 5th round, we saw the match go to the strap. And I think that was unavoidable, really. Both guys going for the top roll early on in the bouts, and John Brzenk quite happy to let the match go into the strap. Let's look at the foul count. Round 6, a double foul, as you just seen from Taras. Round 2, a double foul, so equal in that respect. Taras fouling in 3, John in 6. So quite a clean match from that respect. John Brzenk. When you look at the wins, it's another case of 4 of the best from the man from USA. And Taras not giving a bad account of himself there with 2 wins. He could have made it a draw with that last match, and I was very impressed with his win in round 5. That was an exceptional win against John Brzenk, using it the full extent of his ability and leverage. John Brzenk remains, ladies and gentlemen, at the top of the Professional Arm Wrestling League ranks. Can anybody depose this guy? He is the world champion. Taras remains in 3rd place. The awesome Ron Bath in 2nd, also of the USA, and Germanos of Slovakia. We see our lovely young lady there bringing out the belt. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Show me the money. John Brzenk there with the World Championship belt received from Igor Mazarenko of Professional Arm Wrestling League. It's fireworks in Yalta, and you have just watched another demonstration of the best arm wrestling in the world. Look at the massive wrist development on the forearm of John Brzenk. Ladies and gentlemen, the fat lad, Neil Pickup, signing off for Professional Arm Wrestling League, and we will see you again when we bring you more action from the best arm wrestlers in the world.